Christmas and a happy new 2017, especially my sister Laila Harriet Arrendal. This year celebrating her 84th birthday. Who would believe it? Must be Sweden. Greetings from me, her brother downstairs with his collage, and from her cousin Hans in Uppsala with musical renderings of some Christmas carols and hymns from his recent CD. Let's take a stroll through the Angel's apartment, Lailaland, on the second floor of this, our Arrendal Scenarium, our Memorabilia and Minimedia Museum. Photos are from a movie titled Danssalongen. I don't have to translate it, I think. Danssalongen, the dancing palace. Somehow, the movie makers once upon a time tricked the management at the Lailaland Palace to film its famous beauty contest named The Daisies on location. You might recognize one of the beauties upon that spectral stage. The National Palace, Lailaland for short, and in the lingo of the hipsters of Sweden in the 1950s, Lailaland was the inn ballroom of swinging Stockholm. You could dance to the big bands in the big hall, dig the coolest jazz cats in the Harlem saloon, mingle with the would-be jet set, and relax with coffee and a Danish. The films of the 50s loved to depict this rather uptight era, where especially Lailaland was considered to be a nest of sin and aberration, where the newly arrived country maidens were lured into illicit sex and unwanted pregnancies by the slick big city hustlers, tango-moustached seducers as they were. Danssalongen was said to be very enticing and shocking. A very enticing and shocking movie. Today's audience wouldn't raise an eyebrow. One of the extras, as you discovered, was Laila Harriet from sophisticated Linköping, the residence city with cathedral and higher education just a few hours south of Stockholm. In one of its educational facilities sat in the early 40s little Laila. Little Laila sounds like a movie title. Bored with the scholastics and gazing out through the windows, at school windows, at the park, at the clouds, remembering the latest Hollywood movies at the Saga Theatre or any of the other 10-picture palaces that entertained this city of about 30,000 souls. Of course, there were the theatre, concerts, dancing to local bands and parties, but nothing compared to the extravaganzas of the Hollywood musicals. She loved them. Ginger Rogers and Fred Astaire dancing on 42nd Street in Central Park in Paris, and other exotic places around the world. No, she never aspired to movie stardom, although her teenage gentleman callers flatter her looks. You should be in the movies. She was fascinated by the glamour of it all, the clothes, the mansions, lucky people. And then, while studying to be a dentist's nurse in Stockholm, came the opportunity to be in a movie that would arrive sooner or later on our Scandia cinema on Badersgatan, House Street, where we lived at that time. To the pride of our garbo look-alike mothers, she was starting in her own florist shop, and her father, Laila's father, our father, the once piano player of silent films, now a local entertainer all over the county of Östergötland. They would love it. But as anyone who ever attended a movie shoot or set will know, most of the time it's boredom, frustration, embarrassment that reigns those stages. Laila, being at core a very shy and unassuming beauty queen, found this experience with the Danssalongen in front of the camera enough for a lifetime, the dog could raise. When the film premiered, she was already in the States, first working as a nanny, then as a barge-maid in San Francisco, being an assurance employee in LA, a housewife with child in Malibu and on Sunset Boulevard, Hollywood, etc., and in Pasadena. And then by chance, a meeting when we lived on Warner Drive with the filmmaker Paul Mazursky and his family. And also the final job as a nurse with the Beverly Hills dentist. This all made Hollywood suddenly knock on the door for a lot of hang-around action. And suddenly, actually, Fred Astaire was one of the patients in Beverly Hills. Movies and stars. Maybe we will return to that subject. But now, here there's an homage and a hooray to her best friend Betsy, who recently also celebrated her birthday, and the rest are 90 years young, I might add. And the rest of their family and their frequent travels around the world. She visits USA almost yearly. She lived there between 1959 to 1979, almost 20 years. Now, this guided tour of the Angels apartment, Los Angeles apartment, with a decoration style that I used to refer to as California Larsen, i.e. a mix of the most famous artists in Sweden, Carl Larsson, and his paintings from his home in Dalarna, who's decorated by his wife, and then combined with the California Wicca word of the 50s, 60s, 70s. And as you can see on my insistence, the flat contains a lot of photos of Laila and the family members in different ages. And the reason to this is that I sometimes use to combine my film screenings downstairs and around the museum with a guided tour when she allows it to the apartment upstairs in this very fascinating, might I say, 20s house of cult and culture. Whoops.